Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am behind schedule today. I've been down at some land. I've been working on some different things. I'm a part of this. I've got a piece of land that where I do fishing and do all kinds of stuff down there, and I've been out there working. I'm actually tired. Haven't done that kind of work in a while. Okay. Ripple announced today they've hired this Cindy Young as Ripple's managing director of Europe, a trusted partner delivering crypto-enabled solutions to enterprises. We continue to scale globally, And then this is her tweet right here. My first tweet in years is a good one. After 15 plus years in traditional financial institutions, I've joined industry leader Ripple as MD of Europe. Making the jump to crypto was a no-brainer. This tech is driving the future of finance. I'm excited to get started. And I said, I wonder why the ex-fintech segment global lead at MasterCard isn't worried about the SEC lawsuit. I wonder. This is her resume, or this is her LinkedIn page. Fintech executive developing high-performance team to commercialize emerging technologies in payments. And here's her primary experience that everybody would want to know. Digital and fintech segment global lead, responsible for segment strategy, value propositions, go-to market, and prioritizing investments for capability building. Okay, she did all sorts of things at MasterCard. This is interesting because, again, people aren't just leaving these kind of, I mean, she didn't leave that company to go to Ripple. She's been I think she's been a public speaker for a while, but people with this kind of background, she's a Harvard, let's go look at her degree there. She went to Harvard Business School, Brown University, so she's a two-time Ivy Leaguer. And she thinks it's a good idea to go to this little startup in Silicon Valley. Why are these people taking, while an SEC lawsuit's going on, why are these people taking these crazy chances with their career, or is it not a chance? Then Tom Emmer, today, the U.S. must prioritize streamlined regulation to keep up with the pace of crypto innovation, or tech jobs will be sent overseas and everyday Americans will be robbed of capital formation opportunities. Let's listen to a bit of what he has to say.
I appreciate you holding this hearing today, and I thank you, and I give a big thank you to our witnesses for appearing before the committee. I look forward to all of your testimony. Financial technology and cryptocurrency are the future of the global financial system. In general, fintech lowers the barriers to entry to the traditional financial system and offers all consumers, no matter where they are, the ability to access convenient financial services at low competitive costs. Cryptocurrency is no exception, as we have seen from the huge consumer demand for these innovative assets backed by technology that is permissionless, open, and private. Cryptocurrency allows people to transact with each other in real time across borders for very little cost in a way that is so transparent and verifiable that it maintains more trust, actually more trust
Wonder who he's
than
talking
traditional
about.
financial transactions with a third-party intermediary. Most importantly, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology unlock access to opportunity. The open source nature of these technologies offer millions of Americans the opportunity to study the underlying code, develop blockchain projects, and launch their own businesses, all without having to ask anyone for permission. That's an incredible opportunity. Over the last few years, I've been fortunate to meet with many great crypto and blockchain innovators. The common refrain during our discussions is that they so badly want to develop their new crypto and blockchain ideas right here in the United States, but they don't because of continuing uncertainty with federal regulation and, perhaps more importantly, the lack of enforcement of existing laws and regulation. They're afraid to launch new projects that, for example, might classify them to be a, quote, money transmitter even though their work has nothing to do with money transmission. Still, the thought of having to comply with an overburdensome state-based money transmission licensing system in the United States is too much of a challenge for these entrepreneurs to be worth their time. And
I'm not going to play any more of that. I think you get the gist of it. Most of what he just said had to have come directly from different things Ripple has said, and we know that he talks to the people at Ripple because he's done a Zoom conference with Brad Garlinghouse. Now, Jamie Nix, I don't know if I'm saying that right, had put this video up, and I thought it was interesting. Watch this. This is Mark Carney, who was the governor of the Bank of England.
Virtually all of their business is in countries that are committed to net zero. They should be committed to net zero, and they should be part of the gold standard.
If they haven't signed up by Glasgow, what does that tell us about those banks?
Well, they're not fully committed to where their countries are committed. That's what it tells us.
None of the banks were available for comment. None of the big Canadian banks have signed up. Goldman Sachs, your former employer, hasn't joined the Net Zero Banking Alliance. Yeah. All of these banks lend.
So let me flip to the other side. HSBC, Barclays, RBS, Santander.
You're a glass half full, man. And
Bank of America,
reality check. There's a lot of work to done. There are big names that haven't committed here.
Absolutely, Joel, absolutely. And the question is for those institutions is to get themselves in a position so they can make these commitments. And to be clear, these commitments are serious commitments. You're committing to net zero. You're committing to a 5-year decarbonization plan. You're committing to how you're going to get there. You're committing to annual disclosure. Now, these are all sensible things. This is what people want to see. It's what's necessary in order to move forward.
What's your message to the boards and the senior management of these companies, to JP Morgan, to Wells Fargo, to Goldman Sachs? What's your message?
Well, it's very clear. I mean, there is a gold standard for net zero commitments.
It's interesting. I have some friends of mine that are really involved in crypto. I mean, I think like the Bitcoin structure was quite brilliant. Yeah, it seems like there's some merit to Ethereum as well, and maybe some of the others. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it would be a good use of Tesla resources to get involved in crypto. I mean, we're really just trying to accelerate the advent of sustainable energy. And I mean, I think actually one of the downsides of crypto is that computationally, it's like quite energy intensive. So like there had to be some kind of constraint on the creation of crypto. But it's very energy intensive to create like the incremental Bitcoin at this point.
All right. I thought that was a great video right there. Now, I wanted to show you this because Quincy Jones has been, like in the last week, has been like a figure who has just been everywhere. We've been seeing video, he's been being interviewed, and out of nowhere, this young guy who's an Arizona State University student has been just killing it, providing all kinds of interesting content. I literally was talking to someone 2 days ago, and they were like, somebody's going to come along and shut this kid up. And they were saying that, and I was like, well, in the meantime, he's really saying a lot of good things. So out of nowhere, we saw this. He says he's talking about, I think he's talking about Zenfin in this thread. Then this guy says, expect to sign an NDA. And then he says, just did. So what I think I heard from somebody is that he accepted a job with Zenfin. I think that's the deal. And they got him to sign an NDA. Now, what this reminded me of, and let me first show you this video. This is him. This is Quincy Jones. I want you to see this. Watch this video because Zenfin R3, XRP, it's all the same, not the same thing, but R3 is at the center. It's like the center of this wheel, and all these things are going to work with it. And it's not a coincidence that they don't want you talk. Zenfin doesn't want him talking because there's others that aren't allowed to talk too. It's not a coincidence that everybody just can't talk about Ripple. Now they can't talk about Zenfin. R3's under NDAs. They just put him under one. He has been silenced. and look, I know the guy, look, the guy just got a great job offer, and I understand why he would want to sign an NDA. But at the same time, the kid's been silenced, period. Okay? So listen to what he says here.
And I'm actually going to make a very bold statement.
Bold statement.
I'd tempt you to make this the opening to your video if you can. But Corda already won, and the Ethereum heads haven't even found out yet. Most people haven't even found out yet. And the reason why I say this is you can go and you can totally fact check me on this. But R3 and the Corda platforms already partnered with the biggest boys in the system. They're partnered with the central banks. They're partnered with the NASDAQ. They're partnered with MasterCard. They're partnered with Visa. They're partnered with Microsoft, Intel, IBM. They're partnered with all the big. Imagine any of those. If Ethereum had a solid partnership and they were already being used to make forward in the technological progression on those networks. Imagine if IBM or if the NASDAQ came around and said, "Oh yeah, we're going to be using Ethereum to basically run all of our new." It would drive people up the wall. It would be insane. But you hear absolutely nothing when it comes to some of these other technologies.
Well, they need to keep it quiet so we can keep buying.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Keep it
and
quiet.
I bet you've probably seen this too, but they deliberately make it difficult. But not only with the SEC lawsuit and banning delisting XRP, but I don't know if you've gone through the trouble of trying to buy XDC, but you can't buy it off the U.S. exchange.
Yeah.
You got to go to a Singapore exchange, or you got to go to some. I usually go to Bitrue, but you got to go to another exchange. And it's crazy too, because I think, and I've been telling people this, people are freaking out about Dogecoin. XDC has made more percentage gains since January than Dogecoin ever had, yet nothing.
Okay, so he's not allowed to say what Zenfin doesn't want him to say anymore. It reminds me, remember this clip from Darren Moore Jr.? This is the CTO of R3. Does anybody remember this clip?
You still working with Ripple at all? As a company, I know that there was some extracurricular activity that was working its way through the courts, but and it's since been resolved. But I'm curious if there's ongoing discussions, since one of their primary focus is on the interbank settlement component that you're also touching.
So frankly, Ripple's probably the only topic I can't talk about.
Without an XDC.
So I just don't talk about it. I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it.
He just can't talk about it. And now Quincy Jones just can't talk about XDC, I guess, or Zenfin, or both. I'm not sure. But look, it's not a coincidence. We've been talking for over 3 years, over 2 years anyway, on this channel about everybody just can't talk about XRP. And now there's a handful that also can't be talked about. Maybe Cardano's not going to be able to be talked about. A lot of these aren't going to be able to be talked about. And it's always the ones that matter. Bitcoin is a pile of garbage. It can be talked about. Ethereum, he just told you in that video, Ethereum's already been passed because of the connections here, folks. And it's proof of work. And if they're lucky, Ethereum 2.0 will work. But it's already been trumped. Maybe that's a bad word to use. But now, to Bitcoin Maxi's gone wild, because no Bitcoin Maxi goes more wild than this guy. This guy, I've finally come to the conclusion, Max Kaiser, he's not stupid. I know he's not stupid. He is either completely gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or he's a liar. It's not one in the middle. The guy's smart. He's either, now remember, he works for Russia Today. That's where his show is. And so he's either a liar. He's either a paid liar and just is paid to tell you things that are just not so, or he has flipped his lid, Michael Saylor style. Listen to what he says here. Talk about not getting it. And I think he does get it. I think it's
like
just
it's a victory lap, because we won. We won this race. All the fiat money's on the back foot. Gold is not doing anything. The altcoins, as they're called, whether it's BCH or BSV or Ether or Cardano or XRP, they're all now have been pretty much shown the exit, because they claim to do things that Bitcoin can't do. But now Bitcoin has proven that it can do everything.
That's not true.
any of these things can do, but it can do it a lot better. So there's
That's a
no
lie.
use case for those altcoins whatsoever. I don't think
That's a bold-faced lie. I'm kind of leaning towards just that he's just a paid liar, because that's a bold-faced lie, and he knows it's a lie. And anytime he's challenged on it, he starts acting like a lunatic.
any of them will be around in 2 or 3 years' time at all.
I think it's the other way around. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Max Kaiser, I don't think he's gone wild. I think he's just flat lying. Thank you for